Call the meeting to order. Before we rise for the pledge of the flag, I'd like to ask you, after we complete the pledge, to remain standing for a moment of silence to our veterans, both living and deceased, who have honorably served this country. Please rise for the pledge, followed by a moment of silence. Roll call. Let it be noted that all 9 board members are present. Agenda item 2, executive sessions. We had an executive session tonight prior to the school board meeting. Issue was safety and security. Agenda item 3, recognitions and rewards. I'd like to introduce our director of the Pottsgrove High School Marching Band.
We're actually going to introduce high school principal, Dr.
I'm going to introduce the high school principal.
Good evening. Once I start laughing, forget it, I'm going to laugh. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having us here tonight. We have a few members of the high school presenting tonight on various things that are happening. But the first group of people I'd like to give a big congratulations to is the high school band with Miss Zarafos. Yep.
Justin McAdams. We need the microphone. We need a microphone.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry. All right.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Justin McAdams. I am proud to serve as the CEO of Cavalcada Bands. Cavalcada Bands is a nonprofit organization that was formed in 1959 by member directors, actually kind of started within this area, has grown to encompass over 70 or 80 schools from Western Pennsylvania up into the Poconos, out in New Jersey, and into Delaware. It's an honor and a privilege to be here tonight to say congratulations to the Pottsgrove Marching Band for your efforts this year and on your championship. And I just want to say a big thank you to the school board and the school district here for Pottsgrove for supporting the arts. Without your support, this kind of effort and this kind of work that you see from your students and your staff does not happen. So thank you very much from our end, and I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Serafos.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Ellie Zarafis, and I am honored to serve as the Director of Bands here at Pottsgrove High School. I am thrilled here tonight to share with you the incredible accomplishments of our marching band this season and to celebrate their recent championship victory. Yeah. So when most people think of marching band, the first thing they think of is a Friday night football game or a school pep rally. While those moments are important to what we do, that only scratches the surface of what marching band truly means to the students that you see before you here today. 63 days, 399 hours, and I did all this math, 23,940 minutes, all for 6 minutes and 30 seconds of a field show, okay? So that is the level of dedication, discipline, and passion these students have poured into their craft. night after night, in the heat, in the rain, and in the cold. They rehearse on a dimly lit parking lot, often for 3 or 4 hours at a time. They have wet socks, muddy fields, tired feet, and endless repetitions. They're all part of the process. So you'll hear me over the intercom most nights. Do it again, run it back, or my personal favorite, we won't talk about that, let's try it again. And every single time, these students reset and give it their all. These students embrace feedback, they strive for excellence, and they understand that greatness lives in the details, and that is the mindset that has driven this ensemble forward. This year, that drive led to something truly extraordinary. The Pottsgrove Marching Band was named American Open Class Championships in the Cavalcade Band circuit, earning the highest overall score in Pennsylvania for our division. Not only did they win their division, they swept every single caption award available. So that includes Best Color Guard, Best Percussion, Best Overall Music, Best Overall Visual, Best Overall Effect. These awards represent excellence in every facet of performance, musical, visual, and artistic. So for those of you guys who might not speak band, let me put this into perspective. Winning an open class in the marching band is equivalent to winning the Super Bowl. It's the most competitive and elite classification of our circuit. It's the best of the best. Like football players, our students train like athletes. They condition, they lift, they run, and they perform at an elite level while playing complex music and executing intricate choreography. Our band of just 47 students just won the Super Bowl. They earned every possible award, the equivalent of scoring a touchdown on every drive and never letting the other team score. Of course, none of this would not be possible without the amazing teams that are all behind the scenes, our staff, our parents, and our supportive community. So to our parents, which many of you guys are here, thank you. From moving props and equipment, managing uniforms, we feed the kids every Friday and most Saturdays. They paid for our parking cones this year. They helped support other behind-the-scenes tasks. Building props is one of my favorite things. Where's Josh Curlin? Hi. So, whatever it is, hey, Josh, I need 7 moving poles. Sure. I need a cauldron that spins. Hey, I need a Viking ship that travels across the football field. He's got it. And he'll wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night and write his ideas down in his book, and that is a fact. It's true. So no matter what you did, whether it was donating a meal, whether it was coming in and dealing with the uniforms, I know I don't see Miss Cutler here, but Miss Cutler sewed about, we had a flying prop on our field this year, like an overhead that went over the entire band, and it went from the 40-yard line to the 40-yard line or something. It was massive. She sewed that whole thing together. She made the hoods for the kids for her uniforms. So I am endlessly grateful for your time, your energy, and your love for these students. It goes a really, really long way. To my staff, and right now it's just Miss Guffey, but we have numerous staff. I want to thank you for your passion and collaboration. Although thank you doesn't feel like enough, we certainly don't give up our summers, evenings, and weekends for the pay, but we do help shape something extraordinary. Even though our contracts say we start in August, we all know the design process for next season starts, tomorrow. So every aspect of this show, from the music, the formations, the color guard design, the uniforms, the props, it's built from scratch and it's built in-house. You will not find that anywhere else. It is our brains in this design team. You can't buy a box to get this to happen. This is Pottsgrove, and it's just us. So if you want it, you're going to have to buy it from me. I want to also thank a numerous part of our staff who come to band just as volunteers and go the entire season unpaid. So although the students are on the field for 63 days, 399 hours, 23,940 minutes, the staff is probably working, 180 days, 5 billion hours, and a quadrillion minutes. And those guys all come in and do it for free because they love the activity. They just love the activity, and they want to share everything that it gave them and helped shape them become who they are and share it with these kids in front of you. So thank you to all of those staff. Just thank you so much. our community and our district leadership, thank you for believing in the power of music education. So whether you approved a purchase order, came to a performance, donated a meal, or encouraged the student, your success or your support fuels our success. Our teaching team here is absolutely fantastic. I know these kids come to them every 5 seconds and ask those teachers if they can come down for a lesson. And yes, you need to go to AP US History. I'm sorry. But thank you. But thank you for letting them come down to the band room anyway, even though it's not always what you think they should be doing at the time, and even what I think they should be doing at the time. Actually, a special shout out to Mr. Steve Ansbach. Where is he? Hi. Thanks. He coordinates a lot for us. This season, he helped us have the football field more than ever before, so thank you for coordinating, because that really helped us with our success this season. So, really quickly, I want to leave us with a little bit of a story here before I wrap up. So, students, this is more for you than anything else. I want to share a little bit of my family to you. So, before we leave here today, I'd like to share a story with my students. 50 years ago today, my grandfather came to America with nothing but the clothes on his back and a dream. He did not speak a lick of English. There were many times in his life where I know it was easier to quit than to keep going. A lot of times it's easier to quit than it is to just keep pushing through. But when the world told him no, he made it a yes. And this season was not luck. You took every single challenge and you turned it into an opportunity. So don't ever let the world tell you no. And don't ever tell yourself no. You are the only person who can deny your own success. What you accomplished was because of the hard work that you guys put in, and you took those challenges and you turned them into opportunities. And you turn them into the opportunity to be successful and believe in each other. So in the Pottsgrove Marching Band, our slogan is passion, grit, skill, and discipline, or PGSD. I thought of it myself. So these aren't just words we say after each performance. They define who we are. Our students embody the passion for music, the grit to push through challenges, the skill to perform at the highest level, and the discipline to achieve excellence. In marching band, there are no substitutes. There are no bench players. Every single student matters, and every individual contributes to the success of the whole. I could not be prouder of this ensemble. I am so excited every day to come to work with these students. This is what makes my job worth it. This is why I come to school. It's to make sure that you guys are successful and take whatever you learn and come back to this world to make it better. All right, so congratulations to the Pottsgrove 2025 Marching Band. Thanks.
Ms. Serafos, before you leave, if I could just make a comment. I'm so proud of all you, and the hardware is super impressive. But before you leave, I wanted you to know about these 9 people around here. So this board has supported our music program with working with Mrs. Hyde for new instrumentation that we put into place this year, and with a plan to replace 1/7 of the instruments each year, so that the kids have, so our 6th graders have new instruments they can travel with them all the way through the 12th grade. We think that's great to have that instrument, have that relationship with the instrument, and it would be great for retention. Additionally, they supported the grand piano in Ms. McMahon's class. And lastly, we are working hard on a very difficult project to support a renovation of our athletics and facilities to get you out of a parking lot. And that's all because of these 9 people here. So I wanted you and your parents to hear that. These guys are working really hard to make this a better place and support our music program. So,
Doing it.
yeah.
Before you go, I want to add to that. I just want to give a shout out to the percussion section. I'm sitting here seeing these signs that say best percussion section. You got some fine drummers. I grew up when I was your age playing drums in bands in high school and jazz band. It's a tremendous instrument. The times I've been to the game, this percussion section is top notch, and it's really neat to hear you kicking the beat. Congratulations to you.
Jay, speaking of, I think there's a gong we need to replace. Someone?
Very quietly walk out. So I was going to say, school board, thank you guys so much. I know there's, raise your hand if you got a brand new marching horn this year. Yep. So thank you guys so much for supporting that. These kids they cannot go very far without the support of our community and the support of the people that are here without us, or with us. So thank you guys so much for supporting everything that we do. I don't know. I think it speaks volumes. I mean, they're here, they're doing it. So thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Congratulations.
We're back to our high school principal, Dr. Gonzalez.
I'm going to pass the mic to Miss Longacre.
All right, so we were asked to do a short and sweet presentation on Avidum. As many of you know, Avidum is not just a club, it's a mental health movement throughout schools, throughout mainly Eastern PA. Our Avidum Club at Pottsgrove started here around 3 years ago, and we started out very, very small, and I mean around 10 members at most, probably. And we've grown to be one of the biggest clubs in our school, and we are absolutely thriving, which I'm thrilled to say. And our message is kind of to strive and support the youth and break the stigma around mental health. Our officers are our advisors, are Mrs. Ebert, which she's here tonight in the audience, as well as Mrs. Burwager. Sadly, she cannot make it. I am the current president of Avidum within our school, and then we have our vice president, Mauricio, and our secretary/treasurer, Ella Hawthorne, and they're going to be helping me with this here today. And first, we have the Mental Health Youth Symposium. I usually butcher that word, so. On to the next slide, please. Oh, sorry, thank you. And they're going to speak a little bit on that.
Hi everyone, I'm the secretary, and I joined Avidum over a year ago, and this fall, we went to the Mental Health Youth Symposium where we talked about just our experiences and our feelings, and we got asked questions about certain serious topics about how we feel, and it was a really good moment for everyone, and including the audience, and there were a bunch of organizations there, and they all helped us, and it was a good moment for everyone.
Hello, I am Mauricio. I'm the vice president of Avidum, and the talk workshop. It's a event that happens every November, like every year. We've hosted it 2 years ago, and it's to help spread the word on Avidum, and really to one speak to other schools and how they're dealing with ways to treat. I wouldn't say treat, but to discuss how they're dealing with mental health. Uh, Obviously, also spread the club, but it's to help people get more comfortable with speaking with their mental health issues that they're dealing with at the time, and that's really what that is. My bad. Um, but I think that's Jordan. Where are you?
I'm back.
You're covered.
Yeah.
Would that be it?
Yeah.
The slide.
Yeah,
My
you're
bad.
good for this slide. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
You're okay. I understand. And the reason, so there are around 6 schools going to this talk workshop, I believe, this year. This will be held at the MCIU Center. I've worked with Dr. Pia Hausiel in the past for a different council. However, we are taking 9 leaders, me and Mauricio, Ella, well, all of us are leaders included, and then 10 newer members, just so they could really get a feel of what Avidum is and what it's like. And we were actually chosen to lead this talk workshop because we are the biggest Avidum club within Montgomery County. So we are very, grateful for that. And then our upcoming events are obviously the talk workshop, as I touched on. Next slide, please. Thank you. The Giving Tree, which Mr. Desiderio, as many of you remember him, he was running it for a couple years before he left the district. And it's a program where we can collect gifts for children who are in need around the holidays. Lovely program. We love to do it, and it really keeps up Avidum's values. As well as moving into the middle school, which I'm very excited to announce, just to educate our youth on mental health and just really keep it going. And thank you for your time.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lucille Wilson. I am a senior here at Pottsgrove, and we are going to be presenting the Dreaming Forward.
Hi, I'm Addison Federoff. I'm a freshman here at Pottsgrove, and we have 5 members, me and Lucy included, but 3 couldn't make it tonight. One is a freshman, Lucan Wiley, a junior, Chase Galloway, and then a senior, Brooke Pafello. So the goals for Dreaming Forward. Dreaming Forward's mission is to evaluate students' voices to strengthen welcoming and supportive school environments in Montgomery County. The session goals are building self-awareness and building relationship skills, making responsible and impactful decisions, cultivating and leveraging leadership.
The main focus of our first session, which we had on October 7th, was belonging and the basic human needs. We are going to 3 more sessions throughout the year at the Montgomery County Intermediate Unit. With the information that we have from our first session, we don't have a clear plan on how this is going to come back to the school, but there is a possibility for there to be a club around it and to still take it leaders year to year. Next slide. At Dreaming Forward, it was from 9:30 to 1:30. We did 3 main activities throughout, so we are going to talk about them now. Our first activity was a hexagon activity. We started by writing places, things, and people that made us feel like we belonged. We then walked around and talked with other students throughout about what they had on their hexagons, trying to make connections with people. It showed us mostly that everyone comes from a different background in different schools, but everyone is still interconnected. This The picture on the bottom is an example from my hexagon. I wrote some of my favorite things in the top left. I wrote my family and all my friends, because they're just things in general that make me feel like I belong.
The second activity that we did was they had these picture cards on the floor, and every student that was there had to go up and pick 2 cards. One card was a card that said that they felt like they belonged in it with, and then the other one was a card that they did not feel belong with. An example were my cards. I picked a dog one on a leash and then a projector. The dog one, I felt belonging with the dog. I felt belonging with like the nature when I go and walk my dog. And then the projector one was when I went to the movies with my mom, and I went to go see the Hamilton, and I was the only one dressed up as Hamilton. But that's an example of what we did, kind of. Yeah.
The final of our 3 activities was a belonging needs worksheet. We all got binders when we were there, and we have them with us today, where we got 2 pages full of 6 different belonging needs, and we answered questions on how we thought our school did really well and things our school could improve upon. The 6 categories were self-actualization, esteem needs, love needs, belonging needs, safety needs, and physiological needs. Each person in our group got to fill out one of these categories, and then we split up by school. So I had our physiological needs, and we said that our school did really, really good with things with free lunches, access to counselors, and things like the community meals that the NHS participates in. And then one of the things we said our school could do better was getting volunteers to do things like the food drives and getting more donations. That is all we have for the Dreaming Forward today. We are going to another meeting on December 2nd, and thank you for having us here.
The middle school for 12 years, and this is my first year at the high school, so I feel really lucky that I'm able to kind of lead this group. The MCIU has only run it, this is their 2nd year running it, and this is our first year participating. So this was really our first kind of like getting our feet wet type of thing on October 7th. So there are 15 schools, 15 high schools that are there participating, and we're obviously one of them. So kind of as we're going through this, we notice that there's themes, like the girl said, belonging was like for the first session. So we're kind of really excited to see like where this leads us. And the idea is that we'd like to bring it back into the building and kind of continue to build like a leadership piece, give students voices, and kind of like the girl said, hopefully create a club so that more students can participate. But again, we've just kind of just started getting our feet wet, and we're really excited to see where this takes us. So, thank you.
Students and Dr. Gonzalez, thank you. You have some good things happening at the high school. It is nice to see an emphasis on mental health. There was a metaphor that has been used for mental health that I heard before, and someone said it's learning to live in rhythm. So there is a relationship between good percussion sections and good mental health in terms of learning to live in rhythm. Leads us to agenda item 4, which is public comment. We have 2 public comment sections. The first is for items that are on the agenda, and the second one, which is later in the meeting, is for non-agenda items. To begin, are there any people who wish to talk on agenda-related items? Anyone in the room? Is there anyone online? No. Thank you. We have 2 people in the room who have asked to speak tonight, and because of medical and health reasons, they've asked if they could be on the first part of the agenda rather than wait till the end of the meeting, and we have honored that request. So I wanted to start first with the agenda items, but the non-agenda items. The first of those 2 people is Bree Robinson, who's a teacher at Ringing Rocks. Right?
Good evening. Lower Pottsgrove Township, Brianna Robinson. Even though I'm currently out of work, I wanted to take a moment to put in the effort to be here tonight to reaffirm my commitment and maintaining a positive relationship with the board. I want to take a moment to clarify why I continue to come to each of these meetings. My presence is not to complain or to create problems. I am here because I care deeply about my profession, my students, my colleagues, and this district. I return because I love teaching. I return because I see families making difficult decisions about their children's education. And I want to be a part of the solution that keeps them here. I return because I witness my colleagues working tirelessly to support students, often under challenging circumstances. And I believe their voices deserve to be heard. I am comfortable being that person to do that, so I will continue to do that. I know Pottsgrove has a proud history. My own children came through this district. While challenges have always existed, I believe the current moment requires renewed attention and collaboration. I also want to emphasize that the educators at Rocks are dedicated, resourceful, and committed to their students. They are not complainers or perfectionists. They are professionals who care deeply about their work and the children they serve. My request to the board is simple. Please engage directly with the teachers. Listen to their experiences. You will find that they are not seeking to create conflict, but rather to foster an environment of transparency, understanding, compassion, and respect. On a personal note, being out of work has been difficult for me, but not only for me, for my students as well. Teachers build strong connections with their students, and when those connections are disrupted, the impact is felt deeply. I am grateful for the compassion shown by my principal, by my students, and by their families. I am grateful for the compassion shown by my colleagues. Those are all Rocks people showing that compassion. I want to make that clear. The support of everyone there reminds me what is possible when we treat others with humanity. Ultimately, this is what I hope for our district, that we continue to treat people with dignity and compassion. When we do, we strengthen not only our schools, but our entire community. Thank you.
Thank you, Bri. The second person who asked to talk, I don't usually introduce people who want to talk, but in this case, I've decided to make an exception there and introduce this gentleman. I occasionally get emails from Pottsgrove community members, and James Durr is one of those people who have been sending me emails over the past 3 or 4 years. And in his one of his later emails, he asked if he could speak to the board tonight. I've never met him personally. So he and I, it was the first time tonight that we met. And because of his emails, I decided to give him an introduction. Jim is an almost 50-year resident of Pottsgrove. He's a former Pottsgrove teacher, was a former head teacher at Ringing Rocks, and was a principal at Lower Pottsgrove for 2 years. He also coached the boys' varsity tennis team, although he knows nothing about tennis. He said nobody else volunteered for the assignment, so he took it because he didn't want students to not be able to do something that they had a passion for. He was also the head of the Montgomery County Intermediate Unit's Adult Basic Education Program. His two daughters, who were both Pottsgrove students, and he married a Pottsgrove graduate who taught for 24 years at Ringing Rocks. He tells me that one of his best memories is when the Pottsgrove PTA asked him to be the host for the Olympian Jesse Owens when he came to the Pottsgrove School District. Jim picked him up at the airport and was an escort for several days with Jesse. Jim Durr.
Thank you, President Strunk. I need to tell you that I hardly know anyone here except Mrs. Grimm. 25 years ago, her daughter and my daughter were the best buddies you could be. And I haven't seen you in all that time, and it's nice to see you. Mr. Strunk has told you about our relationship, which I valued. He didn't tell you that the initial email to him was when I saw a rebroadcast of, I believe, a commencement speech he gave, which absolutely was the best speech I've ever heard. Filled with compassion, delivered well, and I've seen many commencement speeches, and it was the best. Mrs. Custard, I had never met you, but never talked with you, but I knew your husband when he was manager at Firestone, a good, good guy. And that brings me to Dr. Finnerty. I've never talked with you, I've never met you, but I fully understand and have an awareness of what it is to be a superintendent of schools. You're everything to everybody. You are on call to students, their parents, to board members, and to various groups. Groups that many times are at odds with each other. And you're out every night, as are all these board members. And I think at times, when we get angered and upset, I think we lose sight of that. And I have to tell you, my experience working with boards are, they're very dedicated people. Yeah, once in a while you have a board where a young person wants to be on the board because he's going to go or she's in the political world or move up the corporate ladder. I've watched the last 5, 6 school board meetings on television from start to finish, and I don't see that at all. Not at all. I see nothing but compassion, people who are interested, people who listen, people who well up when student successes are displayed as where they were tonight. School board members who get choked up. And sometimes I hear from frustrated teachers, and believe me, my daughter's a teacher, a graduate from Pottsgrove. She teaches in Berks County, as reading supervisor, kindergarten teacher. I know what teaching is all about. It's tough. It's a tough position. But you need to work together, as the previous speaker spoke and mentioned. And it's just the route to go. You have to do that. One of the other things I was asked to do when I served the Montgomery County Intermediate Unit, I was out every night. And with Adult Basic Ed, we had GED classes, Cheltenham, Eagleville Drug and Alcohol Hospital, and the then Graterford Prison. I took that position with the understanding that I could teach the GED class. Every semester, 1/3 of my students, adults, were lifers. No chance of ever getting out of prison. They would die in prison, and they did die in prison. And I can't help but think, when we talk about kids who are not born as bad kids, they don't intend to hurt others, be it physically, emotionally, mentally. Something clicks. Something doesn't take place. And they go that route. And I venture to say that many of my students at Graterford when they were in grade school are the kids you're describing when we talk about the rocks. And somebody needs to help them. They're special needs student, but they don't mean to be bad. And I have to tell you, I really take issue with the idea that even though I have six grandkids, and because my wife and I got married in our 30s, they're young. I have one in junior high, and the other ones are in elementary school. And I can tell you, if they came home and someone hit them in school or someone showed them disrespect, Grampy would be right here. But they're in Boston and they're in Wyomissing. But he would be right there. I understand that, parents. But at the same time, I'm not sure that the way to handle this is to pack them up and send them off to some school. Thank God every night, every day of the year, that you don't have a child who has those problems. Because you might look upon this, even though your kids are victims, and they are, and teachers are putting up with incredible stuff. Nobody wants to be a teacher today. I saw a teacher that you can't even get substitutes. What are we doing now? We're paying people. Some teacher told me from another county that the prerequisite to get a substitute is they have to have a pulse. And that's pretty sad. And we're paying or about to pay student teachers to teach, haven't even graduated from college, haven't even been certified. Nobody wants to be a teacher. There's a reason for that. It's a tough, tough job. All these people, not only here, curriculum committee meetings, athletic committee meetings, they all serve. I hear the three of you, I think, go to the, is it still called the VOTEC school, and report proudly about how many of our students are wanting to go there, which they should. College isn't meant for everybody, especially when you wind up 30 years having to pay off a student loan. So I'm here. I've never spoke to you before. I do have to say one other thing about Dr. Finity, and this is important. My wife attended her 60th class reunion this summer, and she came home, and she was in tears. She hadn't seen people for decades. But she said, "Jimmy, sit down." And I sat next to her. I said, "You know what happened? This is Saturday afternoon. The superintendent of schools and the athletic director greeted us with open arms. They spent the afternoon with us. They took us on a tour of the building. They told us about the changes in the history of Pottsgrove. And I'm here to tell you, superintendents don't do that." Dr. Finity, on behalf of the Durr family, and by the way, the other thing that qualifies me to talk tonight is I am a taxpayer. I always get chuckled up when I hear people proudly say they're a taxpayer. Well, guess what? If you live somewhere with a school district, you're going to pay taxes. My wife and I, for 25 years, have had no children in this school. We've been paying thousands and thousands of dollars. And I would say, in a non-sarcastic way, if you want change and you want to fix things, become a school board member. And be out every night, be on different committees. Think of the salary you'll make as a school board member. Oh, I'm sorry, that's right, they don't get paid. But come on, folks. Pottsgrove is my first love. My heart's here. My entire family. When I was head teacher at the Rocks, I sat in on interviews, administrative interviews. I was told we were going to interview a graduate from Pottsgrove. Her last name was Lynch, and her whole family attended Pottsgrove, and good reputation. She got the job, and she taught 24 years at this wonderful school up on the hill called Ringing Rocks. And somewhere along the line, the head teacher worked up the courage to ask her to go out for the date, and she became Mrs. Durr. Board members, I'm here to say thank you very much for all you do. It's incredible. I have a full understanding of what it takes. And if you want to become a board member, boom, now I am being sarcastic. You can make all the changes you want right away. You can fix everything. It doesn't work that way, my friends. Praise teachers, support them. I hear from these students, and what have you, just outstanding. This stuff doesn't happen in every school district. And support your board. Work with them. God bless all of you, and thank you for letting me talk.
Jim Durr, thank you. I appreciate every one of the emails I've gotten from you over the past 3 or 4 years, and it is nice to place a face and a personality with the piece of paper. This moves us to agenda item number 5, student representative report. Adam and Jordan.
Hey guys. So I'm going to introduce a couple things that the seniors have been doing. So the senior class trips have been approved and payment dates are confirmed. So December 12th, that's literally like a month away, will be our New York trip. It's an exciting opportunity for senior students to explore the Big Apple under direct supervision of their peers and navigate the area. So I'd like to thank Ms. Childs and Mr. Kincaid, as well as a few more of our chaperones that we're going to get for the opportunity to get this experience. The payment is due tonight, so I don't know if any students or parents are watching that have a senior and haven't, but it's $50 and you can find it on my school books. As well, I think since the first time since COVID, we're going to have a senior overnight trip. So we're really excited about that. The senior May trip has been approved, and while payment dates are pending right now, the overnight class trip to Hershey Lodge will take place May 15th through the 16th. So the price is looking around $250. And just again, I would like to quickly give a shout out to Mr. Kincaid and Ms. Childs for their hard work in getting the overnight trip assembled and passed. As well, I'd like to thank my fellow officers for their dedication towards making the class better, and to Jordan for actually bringing up the trip idea to me initially. So, thank you.
On behalf of the student population, I wanted to give a huge thank you to all the staff that participated, in making homecoming come to life. Okay. There we go. All right, sorry, that was bothering me. Including the security staff that kept us safe throughout the night. They were all very vigilant, I assure you. It was a fun-filled night, I can assure on everyone's behalf. The music was great, as well as the food provided, including the ice cream truck that I will say I did indulge in many times, and we all appreciated. There was an overflowing positive atmosphere and a great night overall.
I have a few more news slips for the seniors. So officers have started drafting color day themes, and we have come up with a list that we are going to bring up in a meeting to send out for a poll. So look out for that, I guess.
On November 14th, I already touched on this previously. Why is it doing this again? I don't know. Thank you. Okay. You know what? We're going to work with it. On November 14th, as I previously mentioned, the Avita members are going to the MCIU Center for the Talk Workshop, and this is hopefully to expand Avita within more school districts, and hopefully it gets accepted. I did want to touch on the closing of the snack stand. I am very saddened to hear this news. The Pottsgrove snack stand has been run by the PTA and Mrs. Shoemaker for the past 4 years. The snack bar has been open just about every home football game. It has provided visitors and friends with fan favorites such as hot dogs, walking tacos, and blue Gatorade. I personally had the pleasure of working alongside Mrs. Shoemaker and her crew for a good handful of games this season. During my time volunteering there, she truly inspired me and many others of the student population that have volunteered there. She is a shining example of how someone can turn chaos, such as halftime at the football games, into a smooth sailing ship and just really making it all work out. The snack stand crew and atmosphere overall has made a ton of memories that we can all look back on. So thank you to the district for supporting it, as well as the community who ran it. And just again, I would especially like to thank Mrs. Shoemaker and her family for running the snack stand these past couple of years, and for giving me the rage that I'm sure we can all share when we look at a blue Gatorade from now on.
And just on some final notes, to the senior class and anybody that is graduating soon, college applications for early action have just been submitted for most schools. So November 1st area is the application deadline for a lot of those. So students may be stressed out, may not be, but I would just want to congratulate anybody that has, and say that your hard work will pay off and you will see a bright future. So thank you.
Jordan, thank you. Adam, thank you. Agenda item 6, report of our superintendent, Dr. Finnerty.
Good evening. Two quick things. Friday, Family Online Safety Night on November 13th from 6:30 to 8:30 at Pottsgrove Senior High School. We are hosting a Family Online Safety Night in collaboration with Mission Kids. The training is open to caregivers of students ages 2 to 12 and students ages 8 to 12. Caregivers will learn how to talk about sensitive topics like boundaries, personal safety, and navigating today's digital world. Kids will enjoy sports, arts, crafts, and other fun activities supervised by certified child care staff during the second hour. There will be free pizza dinner for all attendees, so join us and look for a reminder email this week to sign up. You do have to sign up. I also want to thank, again, Dr. Lucas for working with Mission Kids and with other districts to co-sponsor this and bring this to our community. So thank you. Another event, our school counseling advisory. I see Ms. Ebert right there. So on November 18th from 4 to 5 at Pottsgrove District Office Boardroom, that's right here, we're hosting and inviting all to attend the Fall School Counseling Advisory Council meeting. The Advisory Council consists of representative voices like yours to support the development and implementation of our school counseling program, which focuses on promoting and enhancing student development in the areas of academics, career, and personal social skills. So please come out. All are welcome. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Finnerty. Moves us to agenda item 7, the approval of the monthly board action meetings minutes from our October 14th meeting and our October 28th meeting.
I would like to make a motion that we approve 7.1 along with 7.2.
Motion and a second to approve 7.1, the minutes of the October 14th meeting, and 7.2, the minutes of the October 28th meeting. Any discussion? Those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? The motions pass. Agenda item 8, granting of orders. This is the ratification of the payment of invoices for October 2025.
I would like to make a motion that we ratify the payment of invoices for October 2025 in the amount of $3,253,140.89 as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second to ratify the payment of invoices for October 2025. Any discussion? Those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? The motion passes. Agenda item 9, personnel. 9.1 is the approval of 4 professional staff and 2 support staff for leave of absences.
I would like to make a motion we combine and approve 9.1 through 9.8.
Motion and a second to approve 9.1 through 9.8. This is the leave of absence for 4 professional staff, 2 support staff. 9.2 is the appointment of 1 substitute teacher. 9.3 is the approval of the resignations of 2 support staff. 9.4 is the change in assignment for 1 support staff. 9.5 is approving the appointments of 4 support staff. 9.6 is the approval of 8 advisors for our clubs, which is called SOAR. And I wanted to call out Steve Ansbach here. I hear that our clubs are actually soaring this year. While we've always done well, we're doing better than well, to the point that we may be above budget with the activities. It's nice to see students getting increasingly involved in clubs. Thank you to you and all the folks that are doing that work with the advisors. 9.7 is the approval of 4 supplemental staff for non-athletic appointments, and 9.8 is the approval of 22 supplemental staff for winter athletics. Any discussion on any of those items?
Yes, I just want to note on 9.4, the change in assignment, the rate was left off. So I'm looking to our solicitor. Would it be okay to add the rate now? Okay. That's fine. Okay, so that action item should reflect, this is for Stephanie Rowe, registered behavioral technician, moving into the position of floating RBT district-wide, and that rate is $28.
Any other discussion on those items? Those in favor? Those opposed? The motions pass. Be it noted, the technical team here, I just got a text message from someone who's trying to get in to listen to the meeting, and they say they can't get on. Could be technical error in their part, just a heads up there. It may not be an error from here, but they're saying they cannot get onto the meeting. Agenda item 10, action item business. This is the authorization for administration to work with PFM Financial Advisors and Fox Rothschild to begin the plans for getting bonds to pay for the, what did it say? The Athletics and Facilities Project. Thank you. For the stadium project.
I would like to make a motion that we approve 10.1.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve 10.1, administration working with PFM Financial Advisors and Fox Rothschild to set up a process for borrowing the funds to pay for the stadium project. Any discussion?
I do. Oops, sorry, I guess it'd help us to move closer. I think I'd asked you this before, Ron, but do I understand correctly that the bonds are really for any, if the stadium does move forward or moves forward in a different format, we can use it for any capital program or projects?
Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, but it depends on the stated purpose in that debt document. So obviously the main purpose will be for the facilities and athletic stadium project, but then usually there's a catch-all phrase for
That's
any
correct. Typically, we would identify the stadium project, but also indicate that the proceeds could be used for any other capital project.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Linke, would you also mind just, you had explained very nicely during the previous, or committee meeting, just the benefit of doing this now versus, in the future?
Yes. Because the interest rates that we can earn right now until the Fed starts really making rate reductions, the rate is very attractive at the moment to borrow the money now at a lower rate, but invest it at a higher rate, which is called positive arbitrage. We can use that additional interest income that we use, or earn, I'm so sorry, to help go towards any project costs, thus eliminating the amount of cash that we would have to provide, because this doesn't cover the entire project.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? So we have a motion and a second? Yes? All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? The motion passes. Agenda item 10.2 is approval of the budget transfers for October of 2025.
I would like to make a motion we approve 10.2.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve budget transfers for October 2025. Any discussion? Those approve? Those oppose? Motion passes. Agenda item 10.3 is a approval of a contract with CCRES, which for those of you who like acronyms stands for Chester County Regional Educational Services, to staff special education assistance in our schools.
I would like to make a motion, we approve 10.3 through 10.6 with an explanation on 10.6, the nurse, the MOA for the Western Center.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve 10.3 through 10.6 with an explanation for 10.6. As I said, 10.3 is an agreement with CCRES to staff special education assistants. 10.4 is an agreement with the Judge Group Healthcare, a contract for special education professionals to staff. 10.5 is a contract approval for CMTA Engineering to replace the rooftop air conditioning units that are above the gymnasium at Lower Pottsgrove Elementary. And again, if you like acronyms, it's worth noting that CMTA Engineering is not an acronym. It is just their name. 10.6 is a nurse memorandum of understanding for the Western Center. Change in the agenda here, 10.6 says MOA. I would just change that to MOU, which is appropriate below. Dr. Finnerty, is that your explanation or you want me to?
I'm happy to do it. If I can also add an explanation on 10.3 and 10.4. Over the last several board meetings, we've approved contracts with recruiting agencies to support or augment our efforts to staff open positions. So while we continue to recruit directly, we've also reached out with companies and signed agreements such as these for area recruiters to staff additional positions. Sometimes we do hear from staff and community members that the rates here are very different than the rates that we pay people. These are the rates that were charged by the contractor, not the rates that the individuals actually receive. So I wanted to make that clarification. And now to the explanation of 10.6, which is the memorandum of understanding for nurse at the Western Montgomery Center. So the Western Montgomery Center has a nurse. They have let me back up. So they have an LPN, but by school code, there has to be a CSN, a certified school nurse, one for every 1,500 students. We have that. All of the students, so do the other two sending districts, Springford and Upper Perk, they have certified school nurses. This memorandum of understanding is just to document that the sending districts are meeting the requirements of having the CSN for all of our students. That's simply, that's all it is. It doesn't change anything that we're doing. It's just memorializing the relationship and that we have our CSN serving our students.
We have a motion and a second to approve 10.3 through 10.6. Any other discussion? Those in favor? Those opposed? The motions pass. Technical team, I got another text message saying they're back online. I told them to reboot whatever they were watching on and try again, and I got a message saying it worked. So it was not on your end. Thank you. Yes, there's an audience. Hello, audience. Agenda item 11.1 is approval of 2 people to attend the Keystone State Literacy Association Conference, November 30 to December 2nd.
I would like to make a motion that we combine and approve 11.1 along with 11.2.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve 11.1 through 11.2. 11.1, as I said, 2 people from November 30 to December 2nd to attend the Keystone State Literacy Association Conference, and 11.2, 3 people to attend the annual Art Education Conference on November 21. Any discussion? Those in favor? Those opposed? The motions pass. Agenda item 12 is the report of the Joint Operating Committee of the Western Montgomery Career and Technology Center from November 3rd, 2025. I've just passed out a copy of the minutes to that meeting. I want to just cover some of the highlights from that meeting. First is we heard presentations from 2 engineering firms, GKO Architects and Crabtree Rollball and Associates for a feasibility study for moving forward with an expansion of the Western Center to allow for more students. These were the two engineering firms that we selected from 5 or 6 that we heard from. The action that was taken is in the February 2nd meeting of the Joint Operating Committee of the Western Center. We will be making a decision whether to move forward or not with the feasibility study, and if so, which of the 2 engineering firms. For me, that's good news with the movement. We have been pushing, the Joint Operating Committee, to do something to get more space there to allow more students. As you heard people talk tonight, technical education is, the demand is increasing, and we have reached capacity at the Western Center, and we're seeing an increase in turndowns in students, and we're trying to do something about that. Second is each quarter, the Western Center selects students of the quarter. These are students who excel in each of their programs. The students of the quarter were announced for the first quarter at the Western Center. There were 47 in total. 13 of them, or 28%, were Pottsgrove students. So Jordan and Adam, I think you have a copy of this report. I want to read the names quickly to give a shout out. It's likely they're not watching, but I'd really like you to get back to these students if you can, if you know them, and let them know that we at least recognize them at the board meeting and are proud of the work they're doing at the Technical Center. Anthony Sion, who is a freshman in automotive technology. Lee Santillo, who is a junior in automotive technology. And Aiden Luckett, who is a senior in automotive technology. So if you think about that, the automotive technology program, 3 Pottsgrove kids, 1 a freshman, 1 a junior, and 1 a senior. Jacob Lucy, who is a senior in carpentry. Nick Lopez Flores, who is a senior in collision repair. Ava Fazakis, who is a senior in the cosmetology program. Anika Bao, who is a junior in dental occupations. Aaron Felix Edwards, who is freshman in the diesel technology program. Ariana Tuzzi Cluis, who is a junior in the early childhood education program. Tyler Odnick, who is a senior in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Gavin Curlin, a junior in the precision machining program. Ava Matrone, a junior in sports medicine. And Sean Sally, a senior in the welding program. So you hear the different names of the students, but hopefully you also hear the variety of the programs, the range of programs that are offered there. Kudos go out to all 13 of these students for your achievement in being selected students of the quarter at Pottsgrove. If we have our way, the 3 of us who sit on the board will get 100% of the students of the quarter from Pottsgrove if we can do that. It's just nice to hear. Want to jump over to, there was a personnel decision made at the last meeting. Our superintendent, Dr. David Finity, was appointed to superintendent of record for the Western Center for a 2-year term starting in January of 2026. So congratulations, and I know you were looking for more work to do. The last piece of this for the report, we announced the dates of the JOC meetings for 2026. I'm not going to read them. They are there. They're also listed on the website. These are public meetings. If you have not been out to the Western Center, come out to one of those meetings. Oh, I should also mention there is somewhere, I have this on here. Thank you. I did want to mention that. There is an open house on Thursday, December 4th for the Western Center. I encourage people to go out and see what's going on. There are 2 things going on with times on December 4th. From 5 to 6 is an information session for prospective students and parents. So it's kind of limited people who want to go there and parents who want to see that. But from 6 to 8, there is a community open house. And I just encourage all of you and people listening to get out there and see this place. There's some cool stuff happening there, and it is a real exciting answer that leads to really well-paying jobs for kids who are not interested in chasing the college route. Sitting with me on the JOC representing this board is Bill and Patty. Any comments you want to add from the last meeting?
I was able to attend the Leadership Advisory Council meeting, and just listen to all these outsiders that have businesses talking about our school, talking about Dave Livingood, and what they contribute and what they see the future is in the workplace. And that was very informational, so I'm really glad I was invited to that.
Thanks, Patty. Bill, you okay? Yep. Agenda item 13 is approval of the committee meeting minutes for the Operations Finance Committee of October 14th.
I would like to make a motion that we approve 13.1 and the minutes for 13.2.
Motion and a second to approve the minutes of the October 14 Operations Finance Committee meeting, which is 13.1, and 13.2, approving the committee meeting minutes of the Curriculum Instruction and Technology meeting on October 21. Any discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The motions pass. Agenda 13.2 is a report from the Policy Committee meeting held on October 28. Bill, is this you to Dr. Lucas? Dr. Lucas. Dr. Lucas.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, so the Policy Committee meeting, we met on October 28th. We reviewed 6 different policies that night, many related to financial areas. So we talked about Policy 626, Federal Fiscal Compliance, Policy 626.1, Travel Reimbursement, Policy 209.4, Diabetes Management, Policy 217, Graduation Requirements, Policy 241, Early Admission to College, and Policy 8227, Conflict of Interest. All policies were revised by the committee and are moving to a 30-day public review. All of those policies, except for 2, were recommended by PSBA to have revision, given, different legislative changes and whatnot. The 2 that we brought to the committee specifically as an administration were Policy 241, Early Admission to College, and Policy 217, Graduation Requirements. The reason for these policies being reviewed is there was some conflict with the language about who was approving students' early graduation, and we wanted to make sure there was alignment. And now there is alignment with both policies, making sure that both the principal, superintendent, and then the school board approve students who would like to graduate early. And that was the meeting for October 28th.
I have a quick question for you. Maybe if you could explain, because I just thought about this, because I'm on the policy committee at the Western Center, but how the process works. So we get a policy, you review it, all that, then why do we have to wait 30 days? Like, if anybody has a question about it?
Yes. So first off, the committee decides what policies we're going to look at, but many of the policies do come to us as recommended through the Pennsylvania School Board Association. They're looking at legislative changes and whatnot that have come through and then suggesting changes based off of that. So the first step then is our committee meets. We talk about what changes they're suggesting, along with, the legal compliance to those changes and any changes we at the local level wanted to put into place given how we operate here in Pottsgrove. So we have those meetings as a committee, and then we have the minutes, and then 30 days is where we place it online so that the community can also provide input before it's actually adopted and then moves forward with an actual, it's in place. So that's where we kind of are right now with these policies. They are out there on our website. Anybody can review them. If you have any input to them, you'll see on the website how you can provide that input. And then after 30 days, you guys will hear on a next upcoming agenda item that we are then adopting said policies. There is a process behind the scenes, though, after they get voted on here that we send them back off to PSBA, who they look at what we've done with them, and they make sure they're footnoted and all accurately edited so that they're finally in that good finalized format. So I hope that answers the question. Yes, from start to finish.
Thank you, Dr. Lucas. Moves us to agenda item 14.1, new business. I usually start at one end. I'm going to start in the middle and go first. We sincerely thank Stacy Ebert for her service to this board. Stacy joined us on June 10th. after the passing of our board member, Chuck Nippert, and she has brought with her a wealth of knowledge of the operation of this district, our teachers, her experience with other committees on the board. Stacy, thank you for everything you have done. I will miss you. We will miss you. But you've also told me we're not going to not see you anymore, that she'll be at the committee meetings, she'll be at the board meetings. So I think your knowledge, your thoughts, your abilities will continue with us. Would anyone else like to say anything at this point to Stacy? And I have one other item I'll come
Well,
back to.
Stacy, I was just going to say thank you for all your time, but I know you're not going anywhere, and you do bring a lot of knowledge. I mean, you're at every building almost every other day, so you bring the walk kind of thing. So just hang in there and just don't leave us. But thank you.
Again, I wanted to say thanks, and I hope to see your name on the ballot next time around.
I think two of the very first parents I met in this district are seated at this table. Anik and Stacy, and I want to thank you for all of the interactions we've had, both formally and informally. And you are a treasure for this community, and I appreciate personally knowing you, and I look forward to continuing to work with you.
I also wanted to say thank you. Your dedication and commitment are just incredible. You're a tremendous asset to this community, and like others have said, I know we won't see, this isn't the last we'll see of you, but I sincerely hope it's not, and I know it won't be, so.
Sorry, I wasn't being polite here, so. Yes, thank you for, you've always been at committee meetings and other meetings asking questions, and so hope that you'll continue to do so, because beyond being a wealth of knowledge, you're a decent human being, and it's a very good thing, so thank you.
And just, again, thanks. And I know you're going to be around and be sharing your knowledge of just what's going on day to day in the buildings, which is really great. I mean, I used to have that knowledge, but obviously I don't anymore. But I think it's really important for some of the board members to have that, the kind of the inside take. So, and yeah, I hope next time either there's a position to be filled, or in 2 years when it's time to be on the ballot, definitely hope to see you there.
I know you're not going anywhere, and I'll be seeing you at PTA events and everything like that. And I really did enjoy attending the PSBA Leadership Conference with you, and we learned a lot. And yeah, you're not going anywhere, so it's all good.
I'm going to try to talk, so I apologize for my voice. One of the reasons I came tonight was because to see you. And that was a tough meeting because I was the deciding vote. So I look at it with a mix of joy and then that stress of that second. But obviously I was fortunate enough to sit next to you between both of you. And I know it's not the last we'll see you. It better not be. And I greatly look forward to working with you in the future.
Any other comments in the room?
Thank you. So I just wanted to, since being appointed to the school board on June 10th to fulfill Dr. Nippert's term, I've been honored to serve our community and advocate for the students, the staff, and families of the district. It's been an incredible experience to work alongside the dedicated educators and the community members who share the same goal, doing what's best for our kids. As a parent of 5 children currently enrolled in Pottsgrove schools, I see firsthand the impact of the board's decisions every single day. My involvement goes far beyond meetings. I volunteered in classrooms, served as PTA president for both Ringing Rocks and middle school, and worked closely with the teachers and families to strengthen the connection between home and school. While I did not win the recent election, I'm proud of the work I've done and the voice I've brought to the table on behalf of our students and staff. I remain committed to staying involved, supporting our schools, and continuing to advocate for transparency, accountability, and a positive learning environment for every child in Pottsgrove. I want to sincerely thank everyone who has supported me, from the teachers and parents I've worked beside to the community members who've reached out with encouragement. Your trust and kindness mean so much to me, and they remind me why this work matters. Pottsgrove is my home. It's where my children learn, where I volunteer, and where I'll continue to give my time and energy to help our district thrive. Thank you.
Stacy, again, thank you very much for your contributions, which I'm sure will continue, for your caring, which is clearly evident, and for your passion and your love for this district. Stacy's last official day on the board will be Monday, December 1st. Before I go to others for any new business, I have a second piece that I just wanted to mainly share publicly, but in the audience. The past week, I was the victim of an email scam. Someone used my name but a different email address to communicate with people within Pottsgrove School District. I want people to know that are listening that when I communicate with anyone within our district, I use my jstrunk@pgsd.org email address. And I'm asking that if you receive any email using my name that's from a different email address, please know that this is not from me. It's been said that if it looks suspicious, it probably is. And if you receive such an email that's not from my normal address, please contact me at my pgsd.org address to let me know you received it. And if you're not comfortable talking to me directly, please contact our district superintendent, Dr. Finnerty, to report it to him. I have always prided myself for striving to have the courage to be myself and to take personal responsibility for my words and my actions. To see somebody else reach for this same courage by being anonymous and impersonating someone is hurtful and it's discouraging. Perhaps it's the world we live in today, but regardless, I do ask that if you receive an email using my name, but it's not from jstrunk@pgsd.org, please report it either to me or to Dr. Finnerty. I appreciate you listening to that. Let's go to my left and start with Lewis for new business.
No new business tonight.
Thank you, Lewis. Jim? Thank you. Stacy? I'm sorry, I said Stacy. Ashley. My apologies.
Senior for mixed up.
The only thing I have is, it was just a little fun fact that I found out last week. In Montgomery County, you can text 911.
Oh.
I did not know that. But I thought that was just, and it's Montgomery County, it's specifically stated Montgomery County. So, just a good thing to know, since everybody texts and so few people use phones these days. So, just thought I'd
As phones.
publicize it. Use phone, like
Yes.
as a phone,
Yes.
you know? So, anyway, just thought I'd share.
Thank you. And this begins the first of many good things to know from Ashley at our board meetings. Dr. Finnerty.
Yes, one quick thing. Last week we had our second annual Powder Puff. This was sponsored by the Ed Foundation. Ed Foundation exists to raise money for additional educational pursuits, specifically in STEM, arts, and music. We raised $1,500 to do that. So it was a very successful event. Last year, I think we only raised about $400. So I want to thank the Ed Foundation. I want to thank the 7 teams that came out. We had a staff team and six other teams. I want to thank Danny Small, our high school librarian, and Shadeen Kleinfelter and Steve Anspach for their work. Ms. Small and Ms. Kleinfelter were taking the heavy lift. Steve was a great announcer and a DJ and a dancer, which was fantastic. And then we also had some Ed Foundation folks show up, so I really appreciate that. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Bill? Thanks, Bill. Patty?
Two things real quick, actually three things, but the one thing is this Saturday, the Booster Club is hosting a craft bazaar. So they'll be from 10 to 2. Adventure Grove will be there, Parks and Rec will be there, and if you have a chance, stop by, I'll be in the cafeteria. Help support them because the Booster Club supports all of our athletes. Secondly, I'm going to ask Steve to help me with this one with the turkey trot.
Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving
Day, 8:30 in the morning. Registration's available. Been posted on social media. We have 359 runners currently signed up for. We'll talk more about this at our committee meeting next week. But some of the proceeds go to our local community organizations in need, which we're giving out now because of the situation currently in Pennsylvania, so around our nation. So, but yeah, 359. Please register now if you're interested. If you want your race day shirt, because once we get to 500,
we ran out.
For the giveaway swag bag.
Yeah.
I'm going in, and I'm going in cold. No running, no nothing. And just go. We'll see what happens.
It's a flat course. You just run straight. It's a flat course. And the only other thing, I would just like to wish everybody a wonderful Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday. And just to give thanks to everybody that surrounds and makes our community well. It's family time. So have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. That's it.
Thank you, Patty. Anik?
I just wanted to say that the marching band was also, some of the players were at the Powder Puff game, and it was really fun. It added that football feel, and it was good to have the different groups come together. I apologize, I don't remember the gentleman's name who was here speaking, but I appreciate everything he said. Mr. Durr. It was, I don't even know what to say, but it was wonderful, and I really enjoyed listening to him talk. Thanks.
Thank you, Anik. Tanya?
I will try this. Okay. So we did have a legislative committee meeting. If you saw the news lately, there was a passage in the Senate federally. It will be going back to the House, I believe, Wednesday to go through that process. However, statewide, we do not have a budget yet. So definitely reach out to your representatives to get that passed. Right now, it's still in negotiation. And I was going to thank everybody, or wish everyone a very safe and happy break as well. That's all.
Thank you, Tanya. Stacy?
Yes, I just wanted to thank everyone up at Ringing, and especially Mr. Ansbach, for our successful Halloween parade, although I feel like the kids almost blew away. But it was nice. The band was there. I mean, everybody was there. They had such a great time. And it's definitely an awesome tradition to be able to continue with, at Ringing. Also, congrats to the high school band. That is an amazing accomplishment. And one of the challenges I want to give to the student board reps is to include something from each school. Even if it's just like, something small from each school rather than it's just based on the high school, is to just include something little from each school so that everybody can be included in the conversation. And also, Anik and I had went to the Pennsylvania School Board Association conference, and we want to thank the nutrition group for giving us dinner that evening. But also, in speaking with them, we've realized that there isn't a lot of information out there on what they do and the different things that they do for our students. Like a farm-to-table event, they give away vegetables, they do different themes, like Wes did different themes. So on the bottom of the school board agenda, you'll see an FYI, which is nice because it's a food services report that you can kind of look at and see like what they've done for the district. And everyone have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Stacy. Ron, anything?
Encourage your legislatures to pass a budget. I'll yield my time to Brian regarding the court issuance on the charter school withholding payments.
Yeah, I'd mentioned to Ron earlier that the court did enter a decision last Wednesday, I believe it was, or Tuesday or Wednesday, in the Penn Hills Charter School matter, where the court did order the Penn Hills School District to pay the charter school, I think it was in excess of $700,000 within a matter of days. However, that decision was very fact-specific, as any case tried at the trial level would be. The facts in that case were, the salient facts were that the charter school had indicated that it would be closing its doors in a matter of days if it did not receive the payment, and the school district had indicated that it had funds available, a significant fund balance available. And when asked whether the payment to the charter school would have an irreparable effect on the district, the school district was not able to respond, or did not respond in the affirmative, which I think significantly impacted the judge's decision. So the bottom line is the decision in that case is not binding on the Pottsgrove School District. My firm is continuing to monitor any further developments regarding that, and I'll work with the business office in responding to any inquiries in regard to that issue, and we'll advise the board if there's any need to change your position in regard to the matter.
Thank you, Brian. So to our student reps then, Adam and Jordan, how's life?
Life is good. I just attended my first college tour over the weekend. I took 2 days off. It was University of Toronto. It's my dream school. But while I was up there, I learned that the second T in Toronto stands for tourist. So refrain from using that T.
Life's been pretty good lately. I have been looking into colleges, as you mentioned. Right now I'm looking into Babson. Really like how they are. And just a little touch on this. I'm working with a student from Wissahickon High School. Her name is Leica. I forget her last name. I apologize to her. However, we are working with MCIU to make a student conference association called MHSC, which, yay, another acronym, Mental Health Student Conference. And this would be, hopefully, if it gets off the ground, that is, a whole board of students from different schools within Montgomery County. Hopefully this can one day become statewide. That is the dream. And they could all share mental health resources and such. Thank you.
Thanks to both of you for your contributions to this district and to the board. Your students, but you're also making a difference as leaders in the district. We appreciate that. Moves us to public comment, which could be about any item. Is there any public comment in the room? Any public comment online? No. Thank you. Couple quick dates. On Tuesday, November 18 at 5:30, the Athletic Co-Curricular and Community Relations Committee meets. It's one of our longer-named committees, but it's a good one. So it's not only athletics, it's also co-curricular activities like our clubs, as well as work we're doing with community relations. Following that meeting on November 18th at 6:30, our policy committee, the Curriculum, Instruction, and Technology Committee meets at, the policy committee meeting is at 6:30. I combined two different committee meetings. There's 3 committee meetings on that date. So it's athletic co-curricular at 5:30, policy at 6:30, and at 7:30 is the Curriculum, Instruction, and Technology Committee, also known as CIT, another one of those acronyms. Tuesday, December 2nd is 2 meetings. First at 7 o'clock is the board reorganization meeting, where we will seat a new board member. Following that meeting is the regularly scheduled full board meeting once we end the reorganization meeting. questions on any of those dates, please come out to the committees. They are all public, the committee meetings. Your voice makes a difference. Come to the board meeting, come to the reorganization meeting. We encourage that kind of input, that kind of contribution. It's good to see faces here tonight, staying until this time. Is there a motion and a second to adjourn?
Yes, there is, so moved.
Seconded.
Meeting is adjourned.